Welcome to the Tuttle and Kline Show.
Kevin Kline!
Tuttle, what's going on, Tuttle?
Not much. Can you hear me, man?
No, I can hear you, and I can see you.
Unfortunate for you.
Hair's getting long there, buddy.
It's in that awkward stage right now that, like, you know, I'm about 2 months off of being where I want to be.
Like, it looks good.
Thank you. Not bad for an old man, I guess.
Ah.
It's a few of the ladies like it.
I'm sure they do. I'm sure they do. Yeah.
How are you? How are you, man?
Oh, real good. Real good. Yeah. Had a fun weekend, and let's see what else. Just the next 5 to 6 weeks are just so busy for us. It's unbelievable.
Okay. All right. Well, you know, if you got to call off the podcast, I understand. But
No. I mean, Monday's always set. We're all good, bro. Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. This usually this is where, you know, she or he lets me down and
No.
says, "Hey, I'm going to go check out other horizons." It's been real, yeah.
No, it's just this time of year is always busy for Snowdrop, and then with the hockey announcing. So it's all good, man. You know me. I need to keep busy.
There you go, buddy.
Yeah.
You sound better. You've been
Yeah.
sick. You were sick for weeks, and now you sound a little bit better.
I do sound a lot better. I ended up running a half marathon yesterday with my brother-in-law, and I think that really kind of cleared out the sinuses, if you can believe it.
Nice. So
Yeah.
you've got a family member that can hang with you in terms of running, huh?
Yeah, he has done a half marathon every week for the last 7 years.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Every week he does a 13 point, what is it, 1?
Yeah, 13.1 mile. Yep.
Wow.
Yeah. He thought about ending the streak earlier this year, and he's like, nah, you know what? I can make time.
Dude, that's crazy, man.
I know.
I mean, do they have to be the organized ones where, you know, the streets get shut down and you piss off traffic, or can he just riff one?
No, he usually just riffs one. Yeah, he has a 13.1 mile route from the house that he runs at least once a week.
He's my favorite kind of runner then. He's not imposing his will on the rest of the public like the rest of you fuckering runners can do.
Oh, you would have loved the Springfield marathon yesterday then, Timmy, because they don't close the streets down. They only close half of the street.
I get it. That's how it should be.
And if you take a runner out, hey.
There's plenty more. There, you know. Don't worry, they just regenerate all the time. They're like fucking Chinese people.
Yep.
They just, we lost a Chinese guy. Well, you know what? There's 84 being born every second. Kev, this is a crazy time to be alive. First off, when we're recording this, we're the day before the election.
Yep.
And I am now, I can't even look at social media or anything like that. I just can't. It's just, people are just way too emotional, way too over the top. Just relax, okay? Everybody breathe in through the nose and out through the mouth and relax.
Here's the thing, too. Don't look at the polls, okay? Because they don't know jack shit, all right? One poll will tell you Kamala's going to win in a landslide. Very next poll, Trump's going to win in a landslide. Very next poll, it is so even, every vote counts. Come on, make up your freaking mind.
If you really want to look at what the gambling sites have, because you know that those are people who put large amounts of money on bets. That's the real smart money, and that's, you know, they don't have agendas other than making money. They don't.
Right.
They don't have narratives or anything like that. They have to put a line out that, you know, is legit, and you know, smart money has always been smart that way. They know.
What does it say about our society that we have to put odds in wager on the election? I don't ever remember that up until now.
Of course. Now everything's gambling, Kev.
All right. Yeah.
Yeah. There's people who actually have over and unders on how long you and I's podcast is going to be.
Oh, do you mean like the time of each episode, or how long it's going to last?
Yeah, this is a minute and 7. Today's is a minute 7, the over and under. And legit, there's a couple of degenerate gamblers that live right down the road from me that listen to our podcast every week, and they put a $20 bet. One of them will throw out the over and under, and he'll take the action on it.
Wow.
And there's like 5 or 6 of them put a $20 bet down over and under today. I heard he texted me is an hour and 7 minutes. He said, if I can sway it slightly towards the over, that would be good. I said, no, I don't want to hear.
Yeah, that's insider information. You can't do that.
I can't. No. This podcast will end on its natural ending. We're not going to do any of that. I can't be involved in that, Kev.
No, we can't. That's funny though that somebody would bet on that. Wow.
Yeah. Oh yeah. There's action on everything. Speaking of action and betting and football and all that stuff, there was something happening last week. We have right outside of my door, we have a luxury pool, a big, huge resort style pool.
Right.
And it has 4 huge grills that people come over and do their grilling.
Okay.
And, I'm out there and I'm grilling about 6 huge chicken breasts, for my meal prep.
Uh-huh.
And suddenly I'm just minding my own business. And suddenly I hear some chatter about NFL quarterbacks going on. There's some anger because, Andy Dalton replacing Bryce Young, which was just for a few weeks. Bryce Young is back in the saddle.
Mm-hmm. He actually won over the weekend.
Yeah. And Joe Flacco replacing Anthony Richardson, which started this weekend. It's causing tension at the grills.
Why?
So, some of the brothers are like, hey, man, that's racist. You got a white quarterbacks replacing young, black quarterbacks, not giving them the proper chance. And, after listening to a little diatribe for a few minutes, I finally had to step in. You know me, Kev, I got to step in.
Every once in a while you do, yeah.
And I was like, hey, look, guys, it's the only color that's being played out here is green.
Exactly.
It's cash. Nobody gives a shit if the quarterback is black or white or anything like that. It's all about money. And if you look at it, today's modern young quarterback, they've had so much training. I mean, they have this everything's year round now, Kev. You know that. You watched your niece, Audrey Tuttle, go year round and play volleyball at a very young age, at about 10 years old.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm.
So everything's year round. They got the 7-on-7. They got the Manning quarterback camps. They've got, Trent Dilfer will look at your kid for a fee and work him out, So, and they get, most of them get huge reps, 5 years. And then with the COVID years, some of them 6 years in college with all the starts. They know pretty quickly. Whereas in the past, you had to wait a few years. They know pretty quickly on whether the quarterback has it or not.
Sure. Oh, they're not going to waste a lot of money on somebody who doesn't have it. There's just way too much green on the line. Hey, Anthony Richardson isn't the quarterback right now because Anthony Richardson quit.
Yeah. Here's the thing. Bryce Young, he did. He lost confidence and was starting to have a regression.
Mm-hmm.
Anthony Richardson, a regression. When you're not getting better as a young quarterback and you're regressing, that costs a lot of money.
Did you hear what Tom Brady said yesterday in his call of the Packers and Lions game?
No, what did he say?
It was kind of a take on Jordan Love when he said the reason that you're not seeing these young quarterbacks excel as fast as young quarterbacks used to is because of the transfer portal. He says they're not used to playing in a system. They're used to being, all they are is an athlete that bounces from school to school to school, and they're not getting systematic training. And so he said that's why they're not succeeding at such a rapid pace anymore.
Exactly. And you know who knows that?
Owners.
Well, the Mannings. I mean, Arch Manning, he can play anywhere. But his uncles and his dad and his granddad know that he is under the tutelage of Sarkisian. I think that's the Texas coach's name. Sarkisian, is that?
Yeah, Steve Sarkisian, yeah.
He is one of the best offensive minds in all of NCAA football. Then they want him there. He's in no hurry to go to the NFL. Absolutely not.
He's making tons of money on NIL right now.
Kev, he's making like 6 or 7 million a year.
Yeah. What's the matter? And he's not getting hit.
And he's not getting hit. And he's under an offensive mind. And what he's going to do is he's going to start beginning next year, probably do 2, maybe even 3 years as the Texas quarterback, and then mosey into the NFL with a nice 45 to 50 games started under his belt.
Mm-hmm. Did you watch any college football over the weekend? Did you see the new Fansville commercial for Dr. Pepper?
I did not. I love those.
It's great. Quinn Ewers is in this one.
Holy smoke, State 1 and the fans are going wild. Deputy Ewers, quick, call for backup.
Backup?
Yes, Deputy Quinn Ewers.
We don't need any backup. I got this.
Call backup.
I'm sorry, did you say you wanted a Dr. Pepper?
I said backup.
Look, we don't need any backup, even if he has great hair and famous relatives.
That's so awesome.
That was hilarious, man. I loved it.
Isn't it crazy that a current NCAA quarterback is in a big time commercial now?
I know. Yeah.
It's so crazy. But yeah, I mean, and they started to like understand. They calmed down a little bit,
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of just sealed it. I was like, hey, man, Richardson and Young, they were regressing. Is it going to be the end of their careers? No. As we've seen, Bryce Young is already back. Richardson will get another shot. I don't know when. He'll get another shot. I mean, he shouldn't have done the tap out, I quit. I was tired. That was one of the worst things that any football player can ever say. If that's actually the truth, he should have made some shit up.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
You can always say, hey, man, I felt a burn on the hammy.
Okay, Dak.
That's all you have to do. But, it's the same thing. If you look at these owners and then these head coaches who, hey, man, they're under the gun.
Oh, Dennis Allen's out from the Saints. He started 2-0 this year, lost the last 7 in a row. He's gone.
Yeah, I mean, just like that, it can happen. So they don't have time to groom and hold the hands of a young quarterback. I don't care where you were drafted. I don't care if it was number 1 overall or it was somewhere in the first round and you were supposed to be the savior and, you were a 5-star in high school and, you were a can't miss by Mel Kiper. It does not matter.
Not at all.
If you're regressing, you're gone. Kev, it's like you get a new girlfriend, right?
Okay.
You're 10 months in with this girlfriend.
Mm-hmm.
Things have been getting worse and worse over the past few months. You got to pull the fucking chute, man.
Yeah. Take a break or end it.
Exactly. And Kev, I'm glad they're not ending it with these quarterbacks. They're just taking a little break.
Yeah.
There's this other older girl who's, got some experience and knows how to handle a relationship. We're gonna let her come in a little bit. I'll go fuck her for a little bit. And then, you're hot, you're cute, you're a good looking girl, you just got to get some shit, tweaked and taken care of.
Yeah.
But once you do, we'll be ready to fuck you.
That's the way it goes.
And that's all it is, man. Just everybody relax. You don't be brainwashed by the axis of evil who want us divided and, don't be brainwashed,
Yeah.
We're all in this together against those evil fuckers.
There you go.
I
know. Yeah.
Kev, how was trick-or-treating in Missouri?
Well, we live in a cul-de-sac, so we don't usually get a lot of kids, but I'll tell you what, we got more kids this year than we ever have in the past, I'm going to say 8 years. But here was the weirdest thing, Tim. When we were growing up, we walked everywhere. These parents drop the kids off and drive them street to street.
Yeah, well, you have to because they let all the crazy psychopaths out now.
Well, no, the parents can walk with them. Like our parents used to do that when we were young. These parents drive their kids, park the car at the end of the street, walk the street, and then get in the car and drive over to the next street, park the car.
Now, the reason why they're in the car, Kev, first off, they're vehicles. It looks like a standard minivan,
Yeah.
but it's armored. And they have the machine guns ready to go. It just looks like dad has a cute little mask on. He's waiting for his kids to do his trick-or-treating. But below the windshield, I assure you there's an AR. But yeah, I noticed it too, that like this was the all-time record trick or treat year in this neighborhood. I've been in this neighborhood now for, I think this is my 5th or 6th Halloween.
And it was a big one, huh?
Oh, it was huge. And there was a guy, that was complaining about it, a guy that lives down the street complaining about it. He's just like, I'm trying to watch Thursday night football every 20 seconds. It used to be, once every 5 minutes, 6, 7 minutes. And he's like, every 20 seconds, doorbell rings. I got to get up out of my chair. And he was like complaining. He's like, I want to opt out of this Halloween thing.
Turn your light off.
Kev, and he ended up being kidding, but he's like, hey, I think I'm going to go register as a sex offender.
Oh my God, no.
And I was like, dude, you can't do that. You're a constable. Bad career move. Just
really bad.
Just shut off your fucking porch light. You'll be fine.
Yeah, that's a bad life move. Halloween's one night. Sex offender, that's for life, buddy.
That lasts forever. Well, I guess his thought was, since he's not for real, he's not. He could get it taken off there anytime he wants, because he could say, like, a friend was playing a joke on him or whatever. There's no judgment of me being an offender. Please take. That's what his thinking was.
Well, bad thinking.
I was like, you don't want that in your life, man.
Hell no.
You don't want that in your life. But that's what I do. When I get down to the last few that I want, when I get for me, Kev, when I'm down to 3 Reese's peanut butter cups in my little bowl,
mm-hmm.
A couple Twix and a Kit Kat, I shut the light off, because I'm like, hey man, that's Tim Tax right there.
Yep.
Yeah, I was like, hey, I know it's only 8:30, but hey,
it's a school night, kids.
It's a school night. You should be home anyway. You don't want to have too much sugar.
Awesome.
Yeah. But this guy who's my neighbor, I've got some funny neighbors, Cav.
It sounds like you do. Yeah.
I got one neighbor who's got in a new relationship. Of course, as I've told you, now I'm the neighborhood ear.
Yeah, you're the sounding board now.
I'm the sound. I don't know how that happened. I've never really been social in my life. I've always been a social idiot, but I guess I'm easy to approach since I have a podcast.
There you go. And you're out grilling all the time.
Yeah, and I'm grilling chicken. I take down more chicken than a guy named Tyson in Arkansas. But I got a neighbor. He's a little bit bummed out. He's got a new girlfriend, and his new girlfriend talks to his ex every single day still.
Were they previously friends, or?
Here's the deal. They're quote unquote co-parenting a dog together.
Oh, okay.
So he has to put up with that, and he's just really bummed. He's in the other room listening to her talk to the ex, and sometimes he'll actually drop her off at her ex's place, and he waits out in the car while she goes inside for 20 to 30 minutes to quote unquote visit the dog. I'm like, yeah, that's just enough time to visit the dog and take a load from the ex.
Yeah. Wow.
That's what I said. I said, man, you got to put a stop to that. That's going to drive you crazy. That's going to drive you, why don't you buy her a dog or something?
Yeah, but you've bonded with that dog. You've spent time with that dog. So I understand that, but yeah, that's weird, man.
Well, Kev, I was just trying to talk him down. He was like, hey man, I'm thinking of killing that dog.
Oh shit.
I'm like, no woman is worth taking out an innocent pet, buddy. There's plenty out there. Trust me. All right. Relax. Just breathe. All right.
Yeah. When the truth comes out, that ain't going to work, bro.
And then he's telling me about how hooked he is and everything. He really is into her and stuff like that. I'm like, then you just either put up with it and hope and pray, that she's not slobbing the knob for the 20 minutes of the visiting time, and, actually visiting dog for 10 minutes. I would check her knees for, stains.
Damn.
I'm no help.
No,
I'm no help. I probably put some things in his head that I shouldn't have put in his head.
But he's still coming to you for advice, right?
It's probably totally innocent, Kev. She's probably just there and with the dog, and
Of course.
That's what she says. She says she can't stand her ex.
Uh-huh.
But they had some kind of intricate, sophisticated mechanism for deciding who's going to keep the dog, and he won.
Give the dog a week at her place, a week at the ex's place, a week at her place, a week at the ex's place. Boom. You've eliminated the issue.
Well, she lives in an apartment.
Okay.
It's a big dog.
Oh, is it? Okay. All right.
That's the issue.
That's the issue. Okay.
That's the problem. And, there you go.
Yeah.
So he's just going to have to ride that one out. Kev, to me, I think he buys her a nice birthday present, a nice, apartment sized dog, a fun size.
Uh-huh.
Little beagle, or what are the little makeup puffs that you like? What are those called?
Our Pomeranians?
Yeah, Pomeranian. Buy a Pomeranian or a Shih Tzu or something like that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's always fun telling people, when they ask, hey, what kind of dog do you have? I have a Shih Tzu.
That's right.
And he said he didn't want to do that because he doesn't want to be the guy walking around the neighborhood with a Shih Tzu. I'm like, hey. You know who you are, okay, pal?
Of course.
You know who you are. You don't care. You don't care about what kind of dog it is. All dogs have good souls. They're beautiful animals, all right?
Yeah, I mean, I would have thought that he wouldn't want to do that because when the relationship eventually goes south, she's going to want to come over all the time to pet the dog.
Exactly.
That? How about that?
Yeah, I didn't. That's one that I should. Okay, I'm gonna note that one, Kevin Kline.
Yeah, there you
go. You've been paying attention. I don't pay attention. For those unaware, I'm not on social media anymore. I don't watch any news. I put my phone down for hours and hours at a time now.
Mm-hmm.
So since I'm almost completely off the grid now, Kevin Kline's going to tell me the things that have happened over the past week since our last podcast that he thinks that I should know or I would want to know. What's going on, man?
This isn't happening. This hasn't happened, but it is going to happen. Hurricane Raphael looks like it's going to form within the next 2 or 3 days. And if you look at the projections, the models, which I have right up here on the screen right now, by next Saturday, you guys will know if you're going to get hit or not.
Shit.
Yeah.
I mean, that's after the election. Why are they wanting to throw some hurricanes at Houston after the election? Those weather controllers.
They say there's going to be 3 more storms before the end of hurricane season, and Raphael looks like it could have the time to build to a big one, and also the warm waters to build to a big one. Like you can see that it's going to skirt the if the models hold true, it's going to skirt the western edge of Florida and then go right over towards the Texas coast.
Shit, dude, I thought hurricane season ended November 1st. I mean, they're beyond their means now. What do they do? Somebody needs to go out to the Gulf and go, hey, we're already into November. Cut the shit. Now it's typhoon time. Go hit Asia.
There you go. That's right. So that's the big thing that you guys need to be paying attention to and looking out for. Let's see. Quincy Jones died yesterday. Did you know that?
What? Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah, 91 years old. He was famous for producing Michael Jackson, Frank Sinatra, Aretha Franklin. Yeah.
Yeah, his biopic or whatever, his documentary on Netflix, a really good one.
Is it?
Yeah, and I've always really liked his daughter, Rashida.
Yeah, she's great. She was
like
awesome in The Office.
She was great in The Office, and she's really seems like a really cool woman.
Let's see what else. Jason Kelce is kind of under fire, but kind of not under fire.
What did Jason do?
Well, he was at the Penn State Ohio State game as part of the ESPN pregame, and he was walking to the booth, and some fan, college kid, yells out a homophobic slur against Travis Kelce. Jason took exception, went over to the kid, grabbed his phone, slammed it down on the ground, and said, now who's the fucking,
Kelce! Hey,
Hey,
Kelce!
Kelce! How does it feel your brother's a faggot?
Kelce, can I get a fist bump? Kelce, can I get a fist bump?
Oh my God! Yeah?
Oh, that's not good.
They have it on tape. Well, I don't. They're not going to press charges. The authorities have already come forward and said they're not going to press charges. But ESPN is not saying if he's going to be suspended or what.
Well,
So,
if he used the homophobic slur, I mean ESPN, they have to get rid of him.
yeah, he did use the homophobic slur. That they have that on tape.
Oh yeah, he's not going to last because they're about as woke as they can get over there at Disney ESPN. There's no way he can survive that. If he does, I'd be shocked. I mean, he may have that Teflon thing that Barkley and Shaq and South Park has.
Yeah,
he should not let that bother him.
Yeah, just keep walking.
Because now the entire world knows you can be gotten.
Yeah,
words will get you.
And he's walking to the set and he's carrying a 30-pack of beer.
There you go.
He was.
And Kev, he's got a lot of cheese.
Uh-huh.
He's got a lot of money.
Yeah.
And now that people know that he can be gotten, I mean, if I take a punch from Jason Kelce, yeah, it'll probably sting for a few days. And who knows? I may even have to go to the hospital, but I'm going to get $27 million.
Yeah. Well, apparently he's already settled with the kid.
Oh, okay. See,
Yeah.
he already had to write a check.
Yeah, so I don't know if he just bought him a new phone or if he actually paid him a X amount of money. But yeah, apparently he's already settled with the kid. So here's the other thing that is very interesting that came out. And don't ask me like all the specifics on it because it's so far over my head. But there is a new startup company in California called REM Space, REM Space. Has nothing to do with the band. It has everything to do with your sleep. They have successfully communicated between two people while they were in REM sleep.
Oh,
Two people
shit.
Via their dreams, they communicated.
Okay, so the whole dreamscape Inception thing is becoming a reality.
It is a reality. They said that REM Space, and that's exactly where they got the idea, was from Inception. They've been working on this for 5 years. They say this is literally going to change human communication from here on out, and it's going to happen so fast you won't even believe it.
Hey, Kev.
Yeah.
So, and I'm just spitballing here.
Go right ahead.
This is just me throwing a scenario out.
Mm-hmm.
So technically, we have the technology now where I could go, I don't know, go fall asleep, maybe a couple houses down from Margot Robbie,
mm-hmm.
slide in her dreams, and just be like, "Hey, baby," and just yeah.
But I don't know if it's actually like physical contact. I think it's just you're just talking to each other. And really, do you need another conversation?
That's all I need.
Oh, really? Okay.
I just need a conversation.
I see. All right.
And then she wakes up and randomly sees me, at a Starbucks or something like that. And she's like, "Oh, hey." I'm like, "I don't know what you're talking about with this dream stuff, but is everything going well?"
Yeah.
All right.
It only happens when you're in lucid sleep, though. And lucid sleep is you're having a dream within a dream.
Oh, okay. One of those.
Yeah. They actually have hotels where you can rent rooms to go into lucid sleep. It's really freaky.
How do they gauge lucid? How do they make that happen specifically?
I don't know how they make it happen specifically. I mean, it's if it doesn't work, it's a great racket. I mean, to get your money back? Probably not.
Probably not. Interesting, Kevin Kline.
Yeah, I thought that was really interesting too.
All right. What else is happening?
No, that's about it. I mean, the election, you can't escape it. So hopefully it'll all end on Wednesday.
It will not.
Who knows?
It will not.
No.
It will not. If Trump wins, they'll flip the fuck out. If Kamala Harris wins, it was more likely than not completely fraudulent, and there'll be a flip out on the other side.
So do you think it'll last as long as the 2000 election with Bush Gore?
No, that was January.
Yeah.
I don't know if it'll last that long. Supreme Court learned then that, hey, we got to jump in earlier than we usually do.
Okay.
So you probably have a Supreme Court thing happen earlier.
Man.
But yeah, that's oh, Kevin. Let me talk to the younger people listening or watching right now. There was a time when Kevin and I were young where it was over and they shook hands, and one side would just have spirited debates with the other side over a beer or something like that, and everything was okay.
Yeah. And concession speeches were actually made on the night of the election.
Yeah. Now it's just a holy blood, which leads me to believe, Kevin, I never wanted to believe this or never wanted this to be a reality, but I just think sometime in the near future, we just need to split our country in regards to not geography, but in terms of ideology.
Okay, so move the blue people to the blue to the west or the east, and move the red people to the opposite side.
If you're a Constitution person that's into common sense and into reality and is logical and loves freedom, and does not want control freaks in their lives on a constant basis. Hey, you got Texas, Florida, and that whole corridor and all that stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm following you.
Midwest. And if you are a communist, if you are seriously, if you're a control freak, if you want, handouts, you want to be controlled and everything like that, you go to one of the blue strongholds. And I'm not being facetious or joking about it. I'm like, hey man, that's where we're at. I mean, I guess you could have some purple states too.
You could.
Where it's like, hey, we like some commie shit, but we also don't want to be complete slaves. You know what I'm saying?
I know what you're saying. Yeah.
And then you have like a purple type thing.
See, but that's why we have a House and a Senate. Sometimes it happens that there's a complete blue takeover, and then sometimes there's a complete red takeover. But that's checks and balances. That's basically what that's for. That
used to be a check and balance and a thing, but now they're all corrupt.
Okay. I don't disagree with that.
They're also basically what I'm trying to say also is you got to take that whole DC thing out of it.
Yeah. That
DC thing needs to go bye. It is irretrievable corrupt at this point. And we just got to say, hey man, no, you're not gonna run things from a tiny corrupt city on the East Coast. Everybody's gonna do their own thing in their own states. You know what I'm saying?
I know what you're saying. I have a question though, because basically they're saying that 8 states is going to decide this whole election. And by the time you hear this, the election's going to have already happened. But they say 8 states. My state is not one of them. Your state is not one of them. So when you go into the ballot booth, I've already pre-voted, early voted. I just felt like I was wasting time.
No, you still gotta place your vote.
Oh, I did. But I'm like, what does this really matter? They already know where my state's going to go.
See, but if too many people do that, then your state can go the other way.
Right.
So you can't have that mind frame at all.
Uh-huh.
It's like that's exactly what happened in the 80s to the Chicago Bulls. The other 4 players were like, this 23 is really fucking good. I don't need to, I could I'll just sit here and watch him. He's pretty good, man.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not going to take any popcorn out in the court and watch him. I'll still go through the motions. That's the same thing, Cav. You still have to make the pass and want to score, and yeah.
Well, while I was voting, the way I rationalized it was, okay, so they think that, they project that my state is going to stay red, but I think the state election candidates, I thought that was important.
Yes, you've got to, well, not only that, but you got to make sure, your local politicians, this is where it counts even more.
Uh-huh.
Is your local politicians, agree with the way you look at things.
Yeah. I did 5 hours of research before I voted.
Did you? Okay, good.
Oh, yeah.
No, that's what you should do. That's, I mean, you should not be a one-party person.
Nope.
There's good and bad with each individual candidate.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
so
there is.
You got to figure it out. I'll tell you this right now. This time, and this is probably the first, maybe the second time in all of my vote. I voted every presidential election since '88, since I could.
Uh-huh.
And this is the first time that I went one way.
I kind of have an idea which way that was.
You think?
Yeah, I think I do.
We're at an important point in history, Kev.
Yeah. I read an opinion piece this morning that said that was the headline. We're at an important point in American history, but are we really? And the opinion piece went on to say that it really doesn't matter who wins or loses the election. We're all going to be okay. It's all going to be the same. Democracy will still survive.
Well, yeah. See, and I tried to a few episodes ago. I tried to get that across. It's like,
well, you said it at the beginning of this episode. Just take a breath.
Look at your day to day. I mean, yeah, there's been some effect over the past 3 years, and maybe there was some effect on you in 2017. It's a small effect, but if you look at it, things don't change really that much. And if they do, then you're talking a revolution. Then you're talking a civil unrest, and they know that. I don't think they would ever. I mean, you can talk about all these doomsday scenarios, but I think that they have the data and they know how far they can push, and if they go too far, then they're in danger.
Oh, my brother-in-law works in the data field. He's like Jonas. He's a software engineer. And he was telling me, he goes, Kevin, because his wife works in marketing and she just got the Starbucks account. Okay. And so what they're trying to develop is a more local approach for the coffee giant. Okay. And
right.
he said, Kevin, he goes, it all comes down to, there was a Starbucks right across the street from where we got a coffee yesterday. We got a coffee at a different place. He goes, they track. Hey, man, Paul hasn't visited here in 2 years. Wow, look where he's going. He's going over to Seven Brew almost every day.
They know that.
What have we done to lose that? If they know that, then yeah, the government knows how much they're pissing people off.
Well, yeah, they know every keystroke that you type in on your keyboard or on your phone, every keystroke.
That's amazing.
And they put all of that together, and they know there's anger out there.
Uh-huh.
They know they probably have a good idea. They do have a good idea that there's 50, 60, 70 million armed Americans, many of them veterans who put themselves on the line for the Constitution and their freedom, that aren't happy about this complete shift towards, we don't give a fuck about your rights. We don't give a fuck about your Constitution. We don't give a fuck about your vote. We don't give a fuck about what you think. We're going to do what we do. They don't like that. And I don't think that they're that stupid. Maybe they are. Maybe they are that evil and that stupid that they would push that to Flashpoint. But I think they know that they can't. And we get the doomsday sayers that say, yeah, they will. We're going to be slaves, man. Rehabilitation camps. It's going to be the People's Republic of America. We're dead. But I don't think it'd come to that, because they know that they would be hunted.
But
I think. I could have that wrong. Again, everything that I say right there is just piecing together, data and knowledge, and I'm pretty good at taking all information and kind of forming it. And hey, this happened. I've done that. Kev, you've known me for almost 30 years. I have a pretty good crystal ball when it comes to just common sense, just based on knowledge and what you read and what you know.
it's basically what you do with trading. It's no different than what you do with trading. You look at trends, you look at data, you make an educated assumption, an educated theory.
Yeah, you just read things. I mean, that's the poker playing too. I can read you.
Right.
So, and I'm not 100%, but I got a pretty good idea about this.
Oh, nobody bats 100.
Nobody bats 100.
Shit.
Kev, there is some crazy random shit that happens on my grocery store visits. It's basically the only time I really go out retail wise.
Okay.
And I had one last week I have to tell you about.
Do you go to the same store?
Actually, there's a couple different stores that I go to now.
Is one crazier than the other?
Yes.
Keep going.
Yeah, it's fun. But, I'm sitting there, minding my own business, picking up my items. And I ran into a guy that I haven't seen since college.
Really?
I went to Ball State University in Muncie, Indiana. in the western suburb of Houston called Richmond, Texas. I see this guy decades later.
No way.
Yeah. You know, and in the fog of college, it took me a while to figure out things. But I finally had total recall when he told me that, you know, I used to sell him weed.
Okay.
Then I was like, oh, okay, Jack, how you doing, man?
Yeah, you're a good customer.
But he started, you know, and I had to like tone him down a little bit because I was like, hey, man, hey, you know, we don't have to talk that loud, man. But he told me, he goes, Tuttle, dude, you were the best dealer, man. I was like, thanks.
Right.
And he was like, hey, man, other dealers, you know, we would have to go into their nasty apartments or nasty houses. And we have to like sit down on the couch, and right next to the couch is this 3-foot graphics bong, and we're smelling the bong water. It smells nasty. And these guys were just disorganized, you know, got to get their baggies over here, the main bag here. Oh, shoot, where's my scale? Have to weigh it out, you know, everything like that. And then they give us like 20 to 30 minutes of a stupid story of something that they're into right now that you had to listen to because, you know, you don't want to ruin the relationship. You want to be able to come back. He goes, your shit was tight, man. And it was, Cav. I mean, I ran a tight operation. I had everything pre-weighed, pre-laid out, all that stuff. I mean, I had it de-seeded in, you know, half and quarter bags, and the bags would be like absolutely perfectly rolled up, and I'd have a little happy face seal on the bag, you know, and they just loved that. You know, there was like, and no stories. I mean, the transaction was 30 seconds.
Oh, yeah. You don't like talking to people anyway.
I don't want to talk to people, and I want you to get your fucking car out of the street in front of my house.
Yeah.
Boom.
I don't want to draw attention.
As a matter of fact, if I remember correctly, Kevin, I would have them park over at the Village Pantry. That was like a 7-Eleven.
Yeah.
They parked there and just walk over 3 houses. I didn't even want anybody parking anywhere near my place.
Of course not.
You know, you go walk into the Village Pantry, you get a pack of smokes and, you know, a 6-pack of Molson or whatever the fuck you're going to do, you know, whatever you need. Then you like put it in your car, and then you slowly kind of mosey over to my place 3 doors down. All right. That's how I had the operation. And he was just being very complimentary. He said, yeah, we could all tell you were a business major because you knew how to run the business. But yeah, if you're going to get a kick out of this. He said the best thing, though, was the finishing touch you had after the transaction was over. He was like, as we were walking out, you would say, hey, thanks for coming. And I would give them a butter rum lifesaver.
Dad taught you well.
That was my exact reaction, man. I laughed so hard because we just talked about, you know, my dad and his butter rum lifesavers, and that's where I got it from.
Wow.
Isn't that crazy?
That is amazing.
Yeah. Anyway, I told him that, you know, he knew, he'd heard. He goes, hey, yeah, everybody knows you became a big time morning radio guy. We're all proud of you and stuff like that. I said, well, we got a podcast now. He goes, oh, cool. I want to check it out. So he's I guess been binge listening to our podcast. He says he loves it. Really funny stuff. And he'll be listening. He'll be a regular listener. And if I ever decide I want to sell weed again, he'll be a regular customer too.
Oh, beautiful.
So I'm like, I'm out of that business.
Yeah, we entertain it a different way.
I'm not doing that shit anymore, man. So it's just interesting. You just never know. It's so crazy.
Did he look the same?
No.
Yeah.
He looks all right.
No, I didn't mean all right. I mean, did you recognize him?
No.
On facial features alone?
I no idea. I remember the voice. You know, I was like, the voice. And then as soon as he said, hey, man, you used to have the best red-haired sensibilia ever. I was like, oh, Jack. Jack, how you doing, man?
Yeah.
Gav, let's do a be honest, shall we?
Be honest. Be honest.
Be honest.
Uh-huh.
When you're running and you see someone that didn't clean up after their dog,
Mhm.
don't you just want to like find out who it is, find out where they live, scoop it up, and just rub it all over their doorknobs or their car door handles?
I want to do worse than that.
Ooh,
Yeah, I want to rub it in their face.
I hate that, especially Kevin. This is I've seen this a couple times over the past month or so. Is the dog takes a dump right next to the receptacle
Oh,
with the bags that is just, and they just keep going. And I'm just like, are you fucking kidding me?
mm-hmm.
Are you kidding? I mean, to me, that is a huge indicator, along with who rolls the shopping cart back to the shopping cart nest,
Yes.
of who in society is cool and who's a total fucking selfish shitbag.
Those are good barometers,
That tells me everything I need to know about you.
doesn't it, though?
See, I can tell a lot about you by playing a round of golf with you
Yes.
or sitting down at a poker table with you and, having a 2, 3, 4 hour session. But I don't have that fucking kind of time anymore. So I just use these others as an indicator.
Yeah. They're still great indicators. They're a lot shorter on time frame. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So yeah, I just don't understand why you would do that to everybody else.
Yeah. Yeah. It's almost like, if you could equate it, I guess, if you had a kid and you take that kid in a stroller and that kid has to take a shit and you take their diaper off and let them go right there, you'd clean that up, right? What the hell? Why wouldn't you clean it up?
Absolutely.
It's the same thing.
Kevin, and let me tell you this.
Yeah.
And I know you're going to say, hey, I'm not sure. You're probably exaggerating a little bit, Tim. That never happens.
Never does. No.
But I think that the dogs, when they see that, your dog sees you do that, your dog's embarrassed of you.
Definitely. The dog's like, man.
Yeah, the dog is embarrassed.
They want to go hide.
And they don't want to talk to other dogs, when you're around, because they're just like, hey, man, yeah, I know this guy. Yeah. This guy's a fucking douche-tard, but what am I going to do?
Yeah, he keeps saying it's biodegradable, but what about the person who steps in it?
Exactly.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Kev. You're thinking the way I'm thinking. What's your be honest?
Well, you kind of already mentioned it, but be honest. What's the biggest thing you ever did breaking the law and got away with? I mean, selling weed, that was against the law.
Yeah, I sold a little bit, just a little bit.
Yeah.
But, I'm trying to think what's anything bigger than that. I mean, I was often a law fracturer.
Fracture.
But I'm trying to think anything bigger than that. Stole a kid's moped.
Okay.
Stole a kid. I was I didn't want to. I missed. I was a friend of mine and I went to the other side of town.
Okay.
To visit a couple ladies.
Right.
And this is before I had my license.
Okay.
He had the license. And he was striking out with his designated lady.
I see.
And I was not.
No, that never happens.
I was doing well. And he was pissed and he wanted to leave and all this. And he was acting like a jackass. And he was, like he was going to fuck it up for me too.
Can't have that.
And I just said, dude, go.
Okay.
Just go. I'll figure it out. Okay. So I get done and I start walking. And I'm like, damn, man, that's like 6 miles. It's starting to get dark. I don't want to walk 6 miles.
Yeah, that's a couple hours.
So this kid leaves a moped. Remember mopeds?
I do remember them.
All you had to do is pedal a little bit, hit a button, boom, they start up.
That's right.
I was on that moped and probably a mile away within 10 seconds.
Oh, wow.
And I got pretty close to my place and I hid that moped under a bunch of brush and I hid that moped in a shallow grave, God. And I saw a day or two later, it was in the newspaper.
Was it really?
Stolen moped.
Okay, well that's bigger than the dealing. Yeah.
And I felt bad about that.
Of course. You didn't
But,
want to
hey,
do it.
We've all done some stupid shit when we were young, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Did I ever tell you that stolen moped story?
No, I'd never heard the stolen moped story.
Yeah, that's about it. Well, you pressed me on it, so there you go.
Yeah.
Now, what kind of illegal shit? It's the water tower thing, isn't it?
The water tower would be one, but the other, you're not going to believe this, Tim, but when I was younger, I was fearless. Absolutely fearless. I did not
What
care.
happened?
I know, right? I think did a complete 180. But anyway, we had a bridge that was when I was in elementary school going into junior high. There was a bridge being built over the Mississippi River that connected our area, Oakville, to Illinois. And when they were building it, we would climb it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we would trespass and climb the metalwork, and probably got about a third of the way up, and then just sat there for a little bit. No intention of doing anything, but just sit there. But I mean, it's trespassing, so yeah.
That's it?
Yeah, as a matter of fact, Steve Cook and I were talking about this just a couple of weeks ago, that we both used to go do that. Dumb.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is pretty dumb, Kev, but it's still not too hardcore.
No, I didn't. No. I mean, I got a minor of possession, but I got caught, so I didn't get away with that.
Yeah, I mean, because look at Kev. I mean, that's a guy that can't go to prison.
No. Oh, no.
Every prisoner would want him to fuck him with his nose.
Yeah.
I mean, Kevin Kline would spend whatever prison term he had with his nose up other prisoners' asses.
That's why I walk the straight and narrow.
He knew that thing was going to be used. I don't know where that came from, man. I'm sorry. This is stupid.
It's all good, man. It's all good. That's the biggest thing about us. We don't take ourselves too seriously that we can't laugh at ourselves.
Exactly, Kev. All right. I'm interested. It's been a while for you. I want to know what your top 3 is, Kev.
Just when you thought they couldn't count any higher, it's Tuttle and Kline's top 3.
We just had the time change. Top 3 things you like or dislike about the time change.
Well, the fall is much easier to take than the spring.
Big time. Yeah, you get the extra hour sleep.
I like that extra hour sleep.
Mm-hmm.
However, I know I'm going to have to pay for it in the spring, so that's on my mind a little bit the next day. It's like I'm going to pay for this later.
Yeah.
I hate that it gets dark so early.
Okay.
But that's not that big of a deal.
Right.
I usually get everything done that I need to get done before 5:30 p.m.
Uh-huh.
So it's not that big of a deal. I do like it being a little bit lighter early in the morning. So, I can do the early morning cardio
right
before the markets open. So I do like that. There's a lot that I like about the fall, but you get me around March or April and I'll be like, fuck this shit.
Yeah.
I
know exactly what you're talking about, because you and I are basically on the same page with 2 of those.
What's yours?
Mine, I love getting the extra hour sleep. I don't mind that it gets darker early and lighter earlier, because that is, to me, our normal sleep cycle. We woke up early for our career, and I always hated spring when it would stay light until 8:30, 9 o'clock at night, because I usually go to bed between 6 and 7.
You still go to sleep at 6, 7 p.m.?
Yeah, we still go to bed early. Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, there must be something really, really cool on TV for me to stay up. Like tonight, I'll stay up tonight just because, the Chiefs are on Monday Night Football and my in-laws are huge Chief fans.
Okay, let me
assuming we still have power.
Let me ask you this, Cav. Oh yeah, you got a bad storm system going through, huh?
We got threats of tornadoes and all that kind of stuff later on this afternoon into Tuesday evening.
Enjoy that Missouri shit, buddy.
No crap, right?
As I sit here with a hurricane on the horizon, maybe.
Perhaps.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to say that, weather gods.
That's right.
Yeah, Kev, let me ask you this. Do you, and you can get back to your top three. I rudely interrupted it.
No worries.
But do you still sometimes, because for many years, Kevin and I doing a morning radio show had to wake up at like 3 a.m. Do you still sometimes, and maybe it's dissipated for you, like you'll get up at like 5 or something like at 5:30 and be like, oh shit, I'm late.
Yes, I do.
Yeah, me too.
Especially if I've had a good night's sleep, and then all of a sudden I'll wake up and I'll look at my phone to see what time it is and I'll be like, oh my God, I got to get up. But it still happens.
Kev, I got to say this, like, it's been over, it's been almost 2.5 years now. Almost exactly 2.5 years since I've done morning radio. I think it was like 6 weeks after.
Yeah.
I got up and it was like 5:15 a.m. And I'm like, holy fucking shit. I got up and I started getting my backpack and everything and I like running for the car. And I'm like in the garage and I'm like, oh fuck that. I don't do that shit anymore. That happened one time.
And this is one of the reasons why Tim and I never suffered the excuse from interns or coworkers. Oh, I overslept. Oh, the alarm clock never went off. In 25 years of radio, Tim and I never were late to a show. Never late to a show. Never. We were the fucking Cal Ripken of being on time.
No, never. Never. Well, fuck Cal Ripken. His was only what, 2,900?
Yeah.
Mine was 6,500, motherfucker.
There you go.
Okay. So yeah. Cal Ripken times 2.5. All right.
Yeah, but that's why we never put up with that bullshit excuse. Oh, the alarm didn't go off, or oh, I overslept.
No, I'm here all the time, and I got a family, man.
Yeah.
No excuse.
No.
But I'll never forget that. I was like, that's embarrassing.
Yeah,
that's embarrassing because that messed my day up. I was like, my whole day was affected by that. That I had that jolt, that electric jolt when you're late.
And you can't go back to bed because you're all.
Oh no! I was up. No! I was up.
Oh yeah.
That was
adrenalized.
That was it. All right, back. Continue with your top three.
I just got one more, and it's really kind of strange, but it's the especially what we just went through last weekend with the time backwards means we're in fall and winter's right around the corner.
I love it.
I love winter.
Kev, I love, living in Houston to me, the best time is those first days where you can leave your windows open.
Uh-huh.
I love having my windows open.
Yeah.
I just love it. I got a huge luxury pool out here and it's got a pump and it's got like the waterfall and I love that noise.
Oh, of course. It's very calming.
It's such a great noise. It's like one of the reasons why I continue to stay here. I'm not kidding. I love that noise. I love it. But when I can start opening the windows, that's something we take for granted here in Houston because usually we spend most of the years in the oven.
Yeah, true.
So I've always been a fall guy, and not just because I like stuntmen.
And the theme song.
I always like fall. My birthday's in the fall, football's in the fall, windows open in the fall.
Beautiful time of year.
Thank you, Kevin Kline.
You're welcome, buddy.
This has been a fine episode, has it not?
It's been a wonderful episode.
I think we got a lot of our business done.
We did.
And as you can tell from my tone, I'm watching the charts right now. I have a setup that's brewing that I'm going to have to get into because, again, I'm a little bit down on the day and I'm going to have to turn this sucker around.
Turn that down upside down, Timmy.
And make it an up.
There you go.
Stop. Hey, make sure you like and give us a rating and follow us. Go to our Instagram, Tuttle and Kline, and our Facebook, Tuttle and Kline. buy some merchandise. Look how cool our logo looks. Look at that thing right there.
And just in time for the holidays. You know, if you buy now, we'll guarantee it gets there before Christmas.
Stocking stuffers. Perfect ones, Kevin Kline.
I love it.
Do you have anything going on your other side project, the Fuzzy Mike podcast, Kevin?
Lining up interviews as we speak, so should have a new episode next week.
Cannot wait for that to, you got me addicted. I'm a junkie. I'm a Fuzzy Mike junkie. And it's been a couple weeks since you've been under the weather, so can't wait for a new one. So there you go. And if you're listening to my voice right now in the middle of some civil unrest due to elections, just relax and breathe. Everything will be all right.
That's it for this episode of the Tuttle and Kline Show. See you this Wednesday for an all-new episode. And you can get more Kline on his podcast, The Fuzzy Mike, with new episodes on Tuesday. Stay fuzzy, friends. And thanks for listening to the Tuttle and Kline Show. Yo. All right, take the yo out.